How do you feel about some addition and subtraction? Today we're simplifying polynomials, which is really just combining like terms, which we did way back in the beginning of the year. And I mentioned something then that I said, this will be important later in the year. Well, it's later in the year, and that thing was that you don't just have to have the same letter, but you gotta have the same exponent on the letter. What do I mean? Okay. In the first example of 3a plus 2a squared minus 3 plus 6a minus 4a squared, it starts with minus 3a. Or sorry, just 3a. I don't know why I said minus. 3a is not a like term with 2a to the second power, because 3a has a regular a, 2a to the second power has a second power. So what matches up with the 3a here? The 6a. 3a plus 6a is 9a. Then we have our 2a squared, which is positive. Are there any other a squareds in this problem? There are. Way down at the end, we have minus 4a squared. So we have 2 minus 4 of these a squareds. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Finally, we have this negative 3 that is all by itself, so it comes along into our answer. In the second example, our first term is negative 3x to the fourth y to the second. So it has multiple variables. So in order for anything to agree with this, it must also have x to the fourth y to the second. And we see that on the next term and on the final term. So there are 3 parts here that contain this x to the fourth y to the second. So put them all together. Negative 3 plus 10 is 7. 7 minus 5 is 2. X to the fourth y to the seconds. This negative 3x to the second doesn't have anything to combine with, so it just comes along. In our third example, we have 4m to the second to start with, and nothing else has m to the second, so it's part of the answer. Our next term is negative 2mn, the variable portion of mn. Nothing else has that, so it's coming along. And we have 3m, which has nothing to combine with. This problem is just here to try to catch you not paying close enough attention. In our next example, we start with an x squared. So now I'm going to find anything else that is x squared and underline it with my purple. So x squared plus 9x squared is 10x squared. Minus 6x squared brings me down to 4x squared. Next thing I have is x to the fourth, and I do have another x to the fourth later on. I have positive 6, and I'm adding 2. So that means we have positive 8x to the fourths. And there's that minus 8 that doesn't have anything to combine with. It's coming along to the answer. Our next problem starts with a negative 4, a to the second b. So do I see any other a to the second b type things? I do. A negative 3. Combining those gets me negative 7, a to the second b's. Then I have a 10ab to the second. And a little further down, I have a negative ab to the second. So they agree with each other. They can combine. If I have 10 and I subtract 1, that means I have 9 of these ab to the seconds. And that 2ab on the end doesn't have anyone to combine with, so it just comes along for the ride. Next problem is just an example to remind you about distribution. We have done distribution at various times throughout the year, but it's been a little while. Last time you saw something like distribution was when we were solving equations with fractions and we were just eliminating the fractions out of them. So let's just remember, in order to distribute, we have to multiply the outside term to both of the inside terms, or all of the inside terms if there's more than two of them. 5 times 2x squared is 10x squareds, plus 5 times 6 is 30x. We have to remember that because if there's distribution, it must be done before we can combine like terms, which is something that we did, again, way back at the beginning of the year. Taught you distribution, then taught you how to combine like terms, and then showed you that if both of those things exist, distribution takes precedence. It's more important to do first. So our first step is going to be to distribute, and that is going to get us, and I'll actually put this in black so my underlining makes more sense. 2 times 3 is 6ab to the second, minus 2 times 6 is 12b, and we still have the 2ab to the second and the 5 that we didn't touch yet. Now we can go back to our normal business. Our first term has ab to the second, as does the 2ab to the second later on. So I can combine those into 8ab to the second. The minus 12b, there are no other b terms to combine it with. And the plus 5, there are no other number terms for it to combine with.